The Shir Le'el Nishmas Elimelech ben Levi Yitzchak, Osher Shmuel Chaim and Ephraim V'Tziona, Osher ben Yosef, William and Helen, Le'el Nishmas Rachel bas Yosef, David ben Abraham, Tzvi Dav ben Chaim Pesach, Fred ben Richard, Yitzchak ben Sarah, Devorah bas Yitzchak, Avram ben Mordechai David, Reuven ben Shmuel, Chana Golda bas Yisrael, Chaim ben Fega, Yaakov ben Yitzchak, Yeshua ben Shmuel, Mordechai Netzach ben Rivka, Zalman Levi ben Moshe, Amichai ben Yaakov, Leila Nishmatam. Today's shir is, can the chief rabbinate revoke Miss Trump's Gerut? The headlines now with the chief rabbinate, where they're picking on Gerim. Can the chief rabbinate annul the conversions of Rabbi Lookstein? Right? So let's look at source number one. It says Tosfos number one, Tosfot over there. Right? So let's take a look over here. How does a person become a ger? Right? So you look at source number one, Tosfot, go down to number 3, Rambam. See that Yehuda Rambam, Hilchos Rabia? Rambam number 3, Aleph, B'shlosha Devarim Nechlos Yisrael B'bris. How did the Jewish people become converts at Sinai? 3 steps, Mila, Tvila, and Karban. The Jewish people, we all had a din like converts at Sinai. Through circumcision, immersion in the mikveh, and bringing a Karban. Okay? Right. Now, and the Rambam in source number 3 Dalid, V'chein L'dorot, 3 Dalid, V'chein L'dorot, when a non-Jew wants to become a Jew, and mikabel ol ha-Torah, tzorech mila, tefillah, v'karban. He has to undergo mila, tefillah, and karban. So in halacha aleph, he said mila, tefillah, v'karban. But Yehud in halacha dalid, he says yikabel ol ha-Torah. So what's he changing? In halacha aleph, he said you need 3 steps to become a convert: mila, tefillah, and karban. In halacha dalid, he says mila, tefillah, and karban, yikabel ol ha-Torah. It's not enough, the 3 steps. You also have to accept what? The Ol HaTorah. Ol HaTorah means Mikabel Mitzvot. So make up your mind. And he says in Allah Daled, Afagel Dorot, Mila Tfila V'Karban. Today you can't do a Karban, right? So today a ger, instead of a Karban, he learns Leviticus 1, the Pasha of the Karban, it's called virtual. But Rav Avram, in Allah Aleph, he says you need Mila Tfila V'Karban. In Allah Daled, he also says what? Ol HaTorah. So he's adding something, which he didn't say in Halacha Aleph. So what's the answer? In Halacha Aleph, he's speaking about the human being is made up of body and soul, right, Chava? In Halacha Aleph, he's speaking about the body. The body of the convert has to do Mila and Tefillah and Karban. But the Neshama needs Kabbalat Ol HaMitzvot, to accept the yoke of Mitzvot. So not enough to do Mila and Tefillah and Karban, but the potential convert has to swear that he accepts upon himself what? The Ol HaTorah. And that's for the Neshama. And the Rambam says also every ger, a male, a female only needs Tefillah and what? And Kabbalah HaMitzvot, but a male needs Mila, Tefillah, and Kabbalah HaMitzvot. Okay? So, Halacha Yudalit. See Halacha Yudalit? Also side number 1, Yudalit. Al Yale al Datcha, Sheshimshon HaMashiach Yisrael, Shloime Melech Yisrael, Nikli Did Hashem, would marry non-Jewish women. If you read the Bible, it looks like Shimshon married what? Delilah, who is not Jewish, and Shlomo married these non-Jewish women. Says the Rambam, forget about it. You can't understand the Tanakh without what? The oral Torah. So Rambam says, don't think for a minute, Halacha Yudalit, that Shimshon, the savior of Israel, or Shlomo Melech is called the Yedid Hashem. What does Yedid Hashem mean? The most beloved of Hashem. They married non-Jewish women? No. Elasoda Dover Kachu. What's the secret? Shamitzvah Hanachona. Shayove Hager Giyaris is Gaya. When a potential convert comes to convert, Boitken Achrov. We investigate him. Shema Beglal Momoin, Sheyitoil, Abishvil, Sarada, Amea Pachad. Why does he want to what? Become Jewish? Is there ulterior motive? So we have to what? We have to investigate. And we're boidik them. Maybe he fell in love with a Jewish girl. Maybe she fell in love with a Jewish boy. Right? We investigate. If we don't find that there's any ulterior motives, then what do? We discourage them 3 times. And if they still persist, they what? We accept them. We learn from Naomi. Naomi tried to push away Ruth 3 times, and after 3 times, what? You have to give up. If they're sincere after 3 times, you have to accept them. Okay? So, what about Shlomo and Shimshon's women? So, did they pass the test or what? You go down to Halacha Tezayin, Shlomo Noshim and Nason. So Shlomo didn't marry non-Jewish women. He put them through what? The conversion process. V'chein Shimshon Gier B'Nosa. Shimshon also converted these Philistine women. But what happened? What happened was, it was not a sincere conversion. They just went through what? The motions. It was not, because you see that they continued to worship what? Avodah Zarah. So is a conversion valid or not?
No.
Yes. Don't argue with the Rambam. Look at Yud Zayin. Let's say they fooled us. Rabbi Avram, incredible. Halacha Yud Zayin. This is the Rambam talking. Some people say you want to argue on the Rambam. Halacha Yud Zayin, Yehuda. You have it? Ger sheloi batko achrav. They didn't investigate. Right? Umal v'tolav me'gibel ad yoitais. And he went through the process even without an investigation. Hareze ger. He burned his bridges. There's no turning back. Afilo noida. Even if we know shebishvil adova mitgayer, we know that it was what? Because he loved the girl, he loved the boy. Hoyul amal v'toval. Once he went through what? Mila v'tvila yotza meklal hagoyim. Rav Nachum, it's amazing. He's no longer a goy. Yiddish? V'afilu choza oivet kochavim. Even though he later worships idols.
Really?
Look at the text, Masha. Yud Zayin. Hareze ki Yisrael mumar. He has a din like what? An apostate Jew. Really amazing. Kiddushin. He gets married. The woman is mekadesh. Mitzvah lachzi avodah is a mitzvah to return his lost object. Why? So even though he went through the motions and then he relapses into avodah zarah, he has a din like what? Ki Yisrael. Yisrael mumar. Lefikach, therefore. Mashi, looking in? Yud Zayin. Lefikach kaimu Shimshon v'Shlomo Shimshon. Why did Shimshon and Shlomo keep their women despite the fact that they were going to church? Because what? My wife, I think I'll keep her. They're still Jewish, Nechama. Afapisha niglas, even though the secret came out. The secret came out that what, Connie? That what? That they worship idols. Since they went through the procedure, says Rambam, they're still Jewish, and therefore Shlomo and Shimshon did not what? Divorce them. Because what, Sarah? It's too late now. It's too late. You burn your bridges. Now, why does the Rambam know this, Shirley? Please hold that question. Hold that question. Avram, how does Rambam know this? You sitting down. How does Rambam know this, Maddie? I'll prove it to you. That a ger who doesn't keep mitzvahs is Jewish. Gemara in Yevamos 46, Yeridea, Shulchan Aruch, that a ger who relapses into avodah zarah is still a Jew who's a rasha. What's the proof from the text? I'm a text man. Benjamin, the proof is 40 days after we said Nasa v'nishma. 40 days after we became, the Rambam says that we all became gerim at Sinai. Rambam says that. 40 days later, which happens to be next Sunday, Shivos B'Tammuz, we all worshipped avodah zarah. So how come our gerus was not canceled, Dr. Abramson? Nechami, see the Rambam's raya? Ooh, 40 days after we became gerim in Har Sinai. What's 40 days after Shavuos? Next Sunday, Shivos B'Tammuz. We worship the golden calf discotheque. And yet, God did not revoke our Gerut. We still had a din like Yidden. So that's how the Rambam knows that if a ger relapses, even into avodah zarah, he still has a din like a yid, but a yid like a rasha. Gerus cannot be revoked. And to say that it can, you're causing needless anguish to a ger. That's 36 sins. To say that his gerut is not valid, even though he doesn't keep mitzvot. You are steching him needlessly, and you have 36 averot. Did you know that? Because the Rambam says, if you're kind to a ger, buy one, get 36. That's the most repeated mitzvah in the Torah of Haftam the ger. The other side of the coin, if you cause needless anguish and shame to a ger, you're 36 averot. So by saying that Ms. Trump is not Jewish, or this other lady, I want to say the chief rabbinate is guilty of not just one sin, but of 36 sins. But some people say, don't confuse me with the facts, okay? Yes, Shirley, speak up. I'm all ears.
Yeah, but look, he must have converted many other people.
Right.
Are they all in the same boat as Trump?
They don't want to accept his conversions. But again, that doesn't hold any water, because if you turn over to side number 2, that one Beth Din cannot revoke the gerus of another Beth Din. It's just impossible. And we'll prove it, okay? We'll prove it from the great Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. Abraham. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, oh. These people think they know better than Rabbi Moshe Feinstein? Come on, Benjamin. Turn over to the other side, please. Let's turn over to the other side. Yeah? See the top of the page? Rav Kook rules when a ger, in my handwriting. You have it, Chava? No? Rav A. Kook rules. See the other side there? No, you don't have it? Rav A. Kook rules when a ger is asked to accept the burden of mitzvot and says he will, but believes, knows that he will not do it. Even in such a case, the thought doesn't count, because only his statement counts. So the gerus is still valid. You hear this? And Rav Moshe agrees, and we'll see. First, look at the Rambam. Halacha Yud Zayin, Yehuda. You see Rambam Halacha Yud Zayin? Oh, you don't. In yellow. They call me mellow yellow.
Middle of the page.
Rambam Halacha Yud Zayin. Ger sheloi batku achrav. A ger, they didn't investigate. Oy sheloi yidiu mitzvahs. They didn't tell him what mitzvahs. By the way, when a ger comes to convert, after you teach him about Achdut Hashem, says Rambam, what's the first mitzvah you teach him? You teach him Achdut Hashem, not 3 and 1, 1 and 3. J.C. Penney, teach him oneness of God, and the next mitzvah you teach him before Shabbat, before Taras HaMishpacha, what do you teach him? Leket Shikcham Peah. Isn't that strange, Connie? I would think you would teach him Shabbat, Taras HaMishpacha, Kashrut Sheli, but no. Rambam says, after you teach him the Achdut of Hashem, you teach him, Moshe, Leket Shikcham Peah. What's that? Leket Shikcham Peah. The laws of tzedakah and chesed. Why is that? That's why Ruth knew what to pick up. Ruth knew. Boaz was impressed. She picked up only 2 stalks and not 3. How did she know? She didn't go to seminary yet, Moshe. She didn't go to seminary. But Naomi knew the Rambam. The first mitzvah you teach is leket shikcham peah. 3 stalks at once is not leket. Only 2 or less. English word collect, leket. Collect, leket. So that's why Ruth knew the laws. Why you teach that? Because what does it mean to be a Jew? A kindness. To be a chesed person. If you don't know that, forget about it. If you can't share with others and be concerned with the less fortunate, you don't belong to the Jewish people. Take a hike. So Benjamin, first you teach him leket, amazing Rambam, before Shabbos, before Taras HaMishpacha, before Kashrus. Leket shikcham peah, the laws of kindness, the laws of chesed and tzedakah. Because that's what it means to be a yid. That's what Micha said in last week's Haftorah. Right? To do chesed, that's a yiddle. Okay, so anyway, halacha Yud Zayin. Ger shalei batku achad, they didn't investigate. And he went through the procedure. Harei ze ger. Afilo noida, so feel dover, even if they find out that he did it because he loved the girl or he loved the boy. Halacha Yud Zayin, I'm reading. Hoyel mol v'taval, once he did the Mila and Tvila, Yotza meklal akum. He's no longer considered what? A guy. V'choshin loy, afilu choyzev ovat avodah zarah, even though he relapses and worships idols, harezek Yisrael mumar. He has a din like a sinful Jew, and if he makes kiddushin with a woman, she's what? Married. She's married. And it's a mitzvah to return what? His lost object. Once he went through Mila, Tvila, Nasa ki Yisrael, and therefore Shimshon and Shlomo, even when they what? The wives worshipped Avodah Zarah, Shimshon and Shlomo had a right to what? To keep them. My wife, I think I'll keep her, even though she's what? Run around Sue. What? Because they're Jewish. That's how the Rambam rules, and the great Rabbi Moshe Feinstein agrees. You see, it says, Shilas v'tshuvas igris Moshe, Yeredeya. You already have that? Shilas v'tshuvas igris Moshe, Yeredeya. The last two pieces. Shilas v'tshuvas igris Moshe, Yeredeya. V'lechein be'etzem. You see that? He wrote this in the early 60s, Chava. Talking about today. V'lechein be'etzem, yesh lefakfeik ala gerus sheyesh v'bodim mekablin. We have to be mefakfeik. How do you say that in English? In doubt of these gerim that rabbis accept who are non-sahadi. We are witnesses. Beruban she'ein mekablos hamitzvos. We know that what? He brings his Jewish girlfriend, the Jewish boyfriend. We know that she's not going to keep mitzvos. Why? V'gam sheloi tei adifa mebala. HaYehudi, she's converting because of her Jewish boyfriend. That's why she's converting. Her Jewish boyfriend doesn't keep Shabbos. She sees her Jewish boyfriend is what? Mechal Shabbat. And he eats non-kosher. So is she going to be better? She's going to be more pope than the pope. Her Jewish boyfriend doesn't keep mitzvot. She's only converting because of what? Is the gerus good? Yes. Yes. Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Avraham.
The wedding meal airport.
Ach al kol zeh yesh mokom loyma shu gerut b'di'evet. Rabbi Moshe rules that it's a gerut b'di'evet. It's not first class. You're traveling in cargo, but you get there. You know, you get on a plane, you go first class, you go in cargo. But in the end, you get there, surely, you know? So Rabbi Moshe Feinstein claims it's not first class, it's cargo, but you get there. Why is that? B'di'evet, it's a good gerus. Why? Ma'achashi amra lifnei Beth Din, since she said the words in front of Beth Din, she mekabelet mitzvot haTorah, that she what? Keeps the mitzvot. V'ira gam bezuk be'ez be'emet, and she meant it. L'chein ulai danin af be'elu she'ein shameres ha'chek Torah. So therefore, even though afterwards she doesn't keep the Torah, she's still a ger. Sheborer lanu. This is from Moshe Feinstein. Who can argue with him? He had very breite places. How do you say that in English? Very broad shoulders. Sheborer lanu. It's clear to us. She'af be'eit hager lo kiba. Even though she's saying the words in her heart, we know she doesn't mean it. Rak dvarim shebelev. We have a cloud. Dvarim shebelev. Dr. Abrams will have a dvarim. In Judaism, Nike. It's what you say. What you have in your heart doesn't count. Dvarim shebelev loy have dvarim. Words of the heart mean nothing. It depends what you say. You hear what the great rabbi is saying over here? You know what he's saying? Since she says the right words, and she sees a Yiddish boyfriend doesn't keep what? So she's going to be more Catholic than the Pope? Afal Pikain, the gerus is good. Look at the next paragraph. V'od. You see that or you don't, Rivka? V'od yesh mokon. What? V'od yesh. We'll have plenty of time for questions. V'od yesh mokon loy tam gadol. Another great reason why the gerus is what? Good. The Masha Bala, listen to this. She is only converting for a Jewish boyfriend who mechal Shabbat. She sees a Jewish boyfriend as mechal Shabbat. Umufker, kama isurim, and he does other sins. Shehi savura. What does she think? Shein chuyev kol kach lishma mitzvot. Maybe it's only a chumrah to keep Shabbos. My Jewish boyfriend doesn't keep Shabbos. Maybe keeping Shabbos is only a chumrah, like separate yichud rooms. What does she know? Im kain hu keger shenitgaya ben oakum. So she has a din like a convert who converts among goyim. Shebefurish b'Shabbos daf samach say haveger. A convert who converts among goyim. The Gemara in Shabbos says that what? It's a good gerus. Nachama, are you reading this? I made the pages. Shouldn't think I'm off the wall. It's a good ger. Af shadayin over the avodah zarah. The Gemara in Shabbos, page 68, says a ger converts even though he worships avodah zarah. He has a din like what? A yid, a sinful yid. Why is that? V'ata mishim. What's the reason? Mishim shekabel olav lios kechole Yehudim shenishbach bekoret. She sees all the other yidden are not keeping Shabbos, so she thinks what? You can be a good yid even without it. Af lo yoda klum min ha-mitzvos. Even though this convert, Yehidis, doesn't know anything from mitzvahs, the idiyas ha-mitzvah eino mi'akos ha-gerus. Lack of knowledge of the mitzvah says that Moshe does not prevent Gerut. Look what he said. I think I highlighted. No, you know, the idiyat ha-mitzvot, knowledge of mitzvot, eino makevet ha-gerut, does not prevent Gerut. V'rak, only when they know the mitzvahs and they say, I'm not accepting. If she says, Bapeh, I'm not accepting even one mitzvah, forget it. But if she says the right words, I don't care what she's thinking. Judaism is Nike, just do it. If she says one mitzvah I'm not doing, we get lost. Right? That prevents gerus. But if she says the right words, she's a ger. You don't have to know the whole Torah before you convert. The rak miktsas moidi, and you only let her know partial mitzvahs. Achdut Hashem, that God is not 3 in 1 and 1 in 3, chas v'sholem. Forget the J.C. Penney garbage. One means 1, not 1 in 3 or 3 in 1. And then leka chik kompeya. And then you're in like Flynn. V'lekach, listen to this. Please, I made the copies. Shirley's looking in. I'm glad. V'lechein afsha Beth Din amrala. Even if Beth Din tells her what? Chavi, you're not looking in. Shetzorech lishma Shabbat. Beth Din says, listen, sweetheart, right? You have to keep Shabbos. Chosheves, she thinks, rak hidra be'alma. It's only a chumrah. Why does she think that? Because she's her Jewish boyfriend and his friends, what? Are not keeping Shabbos. So the Beth Din is only saying a chumrah. Avol gam mi she'eino shoyme Shabbat. Even though she doesn't keep Shabbos, v'kedoyme toye loyme shu Yehudi kosher. She thinks that you can be what? A kosher Jew, even though you don't keep Shabbos. It's a mistake, but that's what she thinks. Nimtza, listen to the punchline, Benjamin, looking in. This Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, who could argue with him? Nimtza, kim tachois. How do you say that in Yiddish? Kim tachois. Nimtza comes out. Sheleta'ata kibla kala mitzvot yudim mechayev. In her mind, even though she's mistaken, she's accepting all the mitzvos. Shehu geut. That's called a gutta gerut. Af shemach mazeh loitetzkayim al kal mitzvah. Even though she's not going to keep the mitzvos, it's still a good gerut. V'zeh tam. No, Shirley. And this is the reason, Yehuda. Better than Upan 103. This v'zeh tam sheyesh boy mamash. Therefore, this is the reason. What does mamash mean? Mamash means really. Lach shiva alawat, chava, ligiyoris. Therefore, there's mamoshes. There's a fact on the ground that she is considered what? A Yiddish medal. A Yiddina. I'm not finished, please let me finish. V'hu limot zchus al rabbanim akoblim. And this is a malamed zchus. That what? that the rabbis who accept knowing that they're only doing because they want to marry a Jewish person, right? This is a malamed chus that the gerus is what? A kosher gerus. This is Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Shirley.
Yes.
Okay? Now, can one Beth Din revoke a decision of a previous Beth Din? The Rabbeinu, the Mordechai in Sechte Gittin, quotes Rabbeinu Tam, that no Beth Din has the authority to revoke or annul the psak of another Beth Din, even if it's a greater Beth Din who wants to revoke the psak of a lesser Beth Din. Therefore, there is no halachic validity or precedent for retroactively revoking any gerus. Annulling gerut has no basis in halacha and causes needless anguish to the ger, and that person that does that has 36 averot. Buy one, get 36, but chas v'sholom, causing anguish and pain to a ger is 36 averot. The most repeated mitzvah in the Torah is to love a ger. 36 times it's repeated to love and not cause him anguish. Now, Shirley.
You know, real life.
Real life.
Why was I interviewed by the Bana Rabbanim? They wanted to know where I daven on Shabbos.
Yeah, but you're Jewish.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, you don't hear anything about...
I don't understand. What are you talking about? Interview for what?
They don't say that there has to be a witness.
You're a witness to a conversion.
I brought someone to be converted.
No.
So they wanted to know where I daven Shabbos. Why does he eat by me on Friday night?
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but it does.
You don't need to know but that's not the halacha. You have the paper in front of you. Igris Moshe Yoredeya. So that's the problem. The problem is they don't recognize that Moshe Feinstein is Echet Tzadik Avracha. That's the problem, Shirley. Don't be more religious than the Pope.
More Catholic than the Pope.
Oh, Maddie, I made the copies. You have it in front of you. This is Moshe Feinstein, Igris Moshe Yoredeya, Siman Kaf Samach. He says it clearly. That even though it's done for ulterior reasons, she said the right word. If she says a wrong word...
What is the good of saying all this if they don't follow it anyway?
Ask Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Maddie. Ask Rabbi Moshe Feinstein. And he said, this is Malamed Tzchus al Rabbanim HaMekablim. Right? Okay. Who is big enough to argue with Rambam? And it's based on the Rambam. Because the Rambam says that Shimshon and Shlomo kept their wives, even though they relapsed. If they had a din like a goy, they couldn't be allowed to live with them, Benjamin. Yeah. So Rambam says, no, they had a din like Yidden. Otherwise, Shlomo couldn't live with them. You can't live with a goy. Benjamin, it's unbelievable.
Who do these
What? Yes, Chava.
Why is it?
Yeah.
You've never mentioned that when the person is becoming a ger,
right,
that they don't warn him or her that if they turn back, if they don't keep Shabbat and whatever,
right,
that if they
ask them,
do we ever warn them that if they turn around and stop doing the mitzvot, then they're going to be judged like a Jew? And that's very serious.
Do we warn them?
Do we warn them?
We tell them there's no turning back.
You can't try it out for size.
You burn your bridges.
No, but they say...
There's no turning back.
Listen, that's good for...
Right?
The chief rabbinate here...
Right.
Wants to...
They're more... They want to say...
The rabbis of the community where she went don't want to recognize it.
But that's wrong. If one Beth Din recognizes you, the Rabbeinu Tam says in Masechta Gittin that no Beth Din has the authority to revoke or annul the psak of another Beth Din, not even if it's a greater Beth Din. That's the halacha, the Rabbeinu Tam, the Mordechai. You cannot revoke a psak of a previous Beth Din. What? It has no validity. It's only causing, Benjamin, needless anguish to a ger.
They don't seem to care.
They don't seem to care. That's the problem. That's the problem.
They need to be warned.
What?
they need to be warned, like everything else, witnesses and warning. You have a witness to their Gerut, but they have to also be warned that if they turn around and go back, they're gonna get.
We cross-examine them
We don't
and
take away their Gerut, but it's worse.
they have to Kabbalah some mitzvahs. They have to say, I accept all the mitzvahs of the Torah. If she said, I accept all except one, if she says that, then we reject her. But I don't care what she's thinking, because devarim shebelev lo yahava devarim. The principle in Judaism, words of the heart don't matter. It depends what you say. Depends what you say, not what you're thinking. What, Abraham? What?
Yep, that's it.
Well, we said, look in tiniest page. Ooh, Abraham. He's cooking with gas. Parshas Balak. I'm glad you brought Parshas Balak. The Gemara in Sanhed in Soita, page Mem Gimel says, because Balak brought karbanos to Hashem. Did he mean it?
No.
He meant himself. He was zoicha that who comes from him? Ruth the Moabite. Ruth, the grandmother of the Mashiach, comes from what? Low-life Balak. Gemara in Sanhedrin, in that sense, Soita tells us because he brought karbanos to Hashem, even though he didn't mean it. We have time. Even though we didn't mean it. It's a little warm in here. You mind telling a lady to turn it on? You're not warm? Not warm? Nobody's warm? If you tell the lady it's... I don't know why I have to schwitz every Sunday. Can you tell the lady put on the air conditioner? Thank you very much. Where was I? Because I'm excited. I'm glad Avram asked me that question. Moshe, you got to hear this. Sanhedrin, no, she's Soita. And it's also tiny stuff, 7. The Tog Shaloi Lishma, Ba Lishma. So the Talmud says, look at the power of a mitzvah done for the wrong reasons. So even though Balak didn't mean it, since he honored God, even though he meant himself, so he had a great schus that because he honored God by bringing karbanot, even for selfish reasons, who comes from him? The grandmother of the Messiah, no less. Says the Talmud, La'olam yasik adam b'mitzvot afilu shaloi lishma, shebetoch shaloi lishma, ba lishma. Nike, just do it, even for the wrong reasons. Because in the end, you'll graduate. So even though the ger didn't mean it, since she said it, b'toch shaloi lishma, ba lishma. Just do it. Even not for her sake. Who's the her? The Shekhinah, God.
Rabbi.
Eventually you'll graduate. The proof is Balak, that lowlife.
And how about
He brought karbanos to Hashem. Did he mean Hashem? Who did he mean, Shelley? He meant himself. Too bad. He did a mitzvah. He gets to come from him, the grandma of the Mashiach, no less. Says the Talmud, can you imagine a mitzvah done what? For the right reasons? Yiddish? So we have a guarantee. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Ooh. Because if you fake it enough, in the end, what? You're going to make it. That's Soita, page 42, and Tinus, page 7. You can look it up.
Rabbi.
Fake it till you make it.
Rabbi Feinstein said one Beth Din can't.
Not Rabbi Feinstein, Rabbeinu Tam said it. Before Rabbeinu.
Individual rabbi.
But he didn't do it himself. Hello, Masha. No rabbi, he has a bezdin of 3 people. It's Rabbi, always. Rabbi Luxstein and 2 colleagues. Rabbeinu Tam and the Mordechai in Sechta Gittin say that once an Orthodox bezdin of 3 makes a decision, no matter what, no bezdin even greater, even can annul that decision. Not just in Gerut, in anything. Hello? Who's greater than Rabbeinu Tam?
So on what basis did they say that it's not a good conversion?
They said he's not on the list.
That's it. It's a power struggle.
They said it's politics. Politics. Terrible. Causing anguish to a ger. It's 36 Averot.
The whole
They humiliated this poor woman. They humiliated her. She came to a Bezdin to get married. She was humiliated.
And they're going to go to Cyprus and get married.
It's terrible. It's terrible. What?
When I adopted my son,
Right.
we went to the Beth Din.
Right.
Beth Din. So he went, from that point, that Rabbi Katz must have gone to have 3 in order
You need
to-
3. One guy can't
Well,
do
I
it.
can see him. It's
Okay,
not-
but the
Okay,
3.
fine. That's not the question I have.
What's your question?
When it comes to Rabbi Feinstein, which I agree.
You agree? Who can disagree?
Well, just one moment.
Hello?
Wait.
Some people say, don't confuse me with the facts.
And
My
then
mind's
you
made up.
have the Rabbeinu Tam, which according to certain people, the Rabbeinu Tam for Shabbat to end is 45 minutes or whatever after. What gives them the right in Israel or anybody to dispute any of these?
That's my
subjects?
question.
And that period-
Can they hold a candle to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, to Rabbeinu Tam, to the Rambam?
Yeah, but here.
Can they? So what right do they have to say it?
But look at
It's
us, when
it's
it-
politics.
When it comes to Moshe Shabbat, we take it in regular.
Because Rabbeinu Tam was a das yochid. The majority doesn't agree with him. And when it comes to Shabbos out, he was a das yochid.
What does that mean?
He's a minority opinion. So therefore, in Judaism, majority opinion. Right? Majority opinion. All right? Yes? Yes.
Rabbeinu Tam lived in Northern Europe.
Okay.
Northern Europe is a very long twilight.
Twilight zone.
To other places, including Eretz.
Right. I don't want to get sidetracked, though.
But the point is that you can disagree.
But he's a das yochid. He's an individual. The majority doesn't hold. But in this respect, it's not just Rabbeinu Tam. It's the Mordechai Masechta Gittin that once a Bezdin ruled on any issue, Connie, no Bezdin, even if they're greater, can annul or revoke.
Even if they're greater.
That's the Rabbeinu Tam and the Mordechai in the end of Masechta Gittin. So it's a slew of Rishonim, Sarah. So I don't understand.
They're epikosim.
I don't know. I'm telling you, it's politics. They say he's not on the list. Whatever that means. There's a list. Rabbi Luxton is not on the list. That's what they say. They got the wrong list. I don't know, Moshe, what list they have. Yes.
Did you see the paper today?
No.
Unfortunately, he was supposed to do the invocation, Rabbi Moshe,
Yeah.
at the Republic
But he backed out.
National Convention.
But,
Because his students from Ramaz, who are probably all left-wing,
yeah.
said that he shaved them and he canceled it.
He canceled it. So Trump will win anyway. Then we'll have a Shabbos goy in the White House. Yes?
Could you give us some a bit of background into this particular case in front of Trump? Who's saying what and why?
The Rabbinate says that they don't acknowledge Rabbi Luxstein's Bezdin. But Rabbeinu Tam and the Mordechai say there's no such thing. Once a Bezdin has ruled, there's no way that another Bezdin, even greater, can annul it. So how could the chief rabbinate go against Rabbeinu Tam and the Mordechai and the Rambam and Rabbi Moshe Feinstein? Hello? So it's got to be politics, I think. What? And Rabbi Lau says it's good. But the other colleagues say it's no good. Even Rabbi Lau himself says it's good, but his colleagues say it ain't good. So what's it all? I don't understand.
The bottom line is God loves the world.
Right?
Somebody wants to curse us, he opens his mouth and a blessing comes out.
That's right.
You know, if, someone is an insincere convert,
Right.
God will handle that. It's on them. And if someone says someone that's a convert,
But think of it. Think of it, Connie.
what they say.
We all became converts at Sinai. Rambam says that. Right, Rivka? 40 days later, we worshipped Avodah Zarah, the Egel Azov. So how come God did not revoke our Gerus, Sonia? We still have a din like Yidden, even though 40 days later, we worshipped the golden calf disco. Did God revoke our Gerus? The Rambam says we all became Gerim in Har Sinai. So that's the clearest proof that what? That what? There is no turning back. Benjamin, this is the proof, right? Yeah? No, that doesn't count. We're talking about, but he's not Reformed, he's Orthodox. Reform doesn't count, it's a joke. We're talking about he's an Orthodox Beth Din, right? They're jokers. We're talking about the Orthodox. Yes? Irrevocable. Irreversible, right? Right? Our Gerut wasn't canceled at the Har Sinai. Next Sunday, you know why we fast? The first reason, before they breached the walls. Because next Sunday, 3,328 years ago, we worshiped the golden calf. That was Shivos B'Tammuz. That kicked off all the tzarot.
Not the women.
The women didn't worship the. So how come you ladies have to fast?
Yeah.
That's a bomb kasha from bomb land. The women didn't worship the Egel. How come they fast, Maddie? Because they should have taken a rolling pin and bopped their husbands over the heads. They should have bopped them on the heads, right?
What right do they have to question Gerut?
That's
But, just a minute.
yes.
But never question people who are born Jewish who follow nothing.
No, if you, I don't understand the question. You're Jewish, even though you sin, you're still a Jew. If you're born a Jew, you have to die a Jew, right? If you're born a Jew, you have to die. What? Reminds me of a story. One at a time.
Ivanka has 3 children.
Baruch Hashem. They all go to yeshiva. Baruch Hashem.
He considers them Jewish.
Of course they're Jew. What do you consider? They're Jewish.
And they're not considered Jewish. They're going to first have to convert again, according to the Rabbinate.
Which is it's a.
Change rabbis.
They're gonna hopefully they're gonna get rid of these rabbis. Hopefully. Of course they're born Jewish. She underwent a conversion api halacha. She is Jewish and all of her children are Jewish. They're just causing needless anguish for politics. It's terrible. It's terrible.
So that means they're deciding that her children are not.
It's what?
It's over.
Right? Anyway, where were we?
55 years old, I'm still a Jew.
What?
Why do we fast?
I said I became a
Because of the Egel. The ladies didn't sin. Elisheva, you didn't sin with the Egel. You still have to fast. Because you didn't bop your husband over the head. Huh?
When there were 4 other things that happened.
Yeah, but that was the first thing. We forget that. That's what happened first. All the tzaras flow from that. That's why Moshe broke the tablets. Right?
So if that's the case, Naomi should have bopped her husband over the head.
Naomi should have bopped her husband, Elimelech, but he...
And not leave.
Right.
Talk about what?
Right. Well, now we have to talk about what we can do about it, right?
What can be done about it? Get rid of the Divana.
We have to know what the sources say. That's why I made the copies for you. We have to know what it says. Right? This guy, we can't argue with the super greats of before, Ruvain. These are superstars from the past. We cannot argue with them. What?
Are there any sources that say that type of conversion isn't good? What's their reason? They must have given a reason now why they wouldn't accept the story.
They don't recognize the Beth Din, but it doesn't. How could they not recognize an Orthodox Beth Din? You can't annul a conversion, right? Yes.
Can you mail a copy of this page to the various rabbis?
Can you do it? Fax it. You have a fax machine? I'm not joking. Highlight it in yellow. I think it is highlighted. No, you don't. Can you just fax it to the... I'm not joking.
You don't see the yellow.
Okay, you don't see the yellow. Okay, but... Okay, circle it. I ain't got a fax machine. I'm still in the 20th century. I don't have a fax machine. 19th century. What?
Do you have a copy of this without your comment?
No.
Rest of the halachot.
You could white it out and send it. White out my comments and send it. Wonder where the yellow went. If you brush your teeth with Pepsodent. I'm dating myself, Moshe. I'm dating myself.
They'll say we don't ask him like that.
Anyway, reminds me one story, please. I have to tell you this story. Dr. Abramson. This Yidel in a town in the Middle Ages, all Goyim. and couldn't make a living. Couldn't make a living, was struggling very much, had a large family, couldn't make a living. All the goyim boycotted him. So he had no choice, but he went to the priest. The priest said, you convert to Catholicism, everybody will support you, all buy from you, you have a nice store. So Nebuch, with a broken heart, Sarah, ein breira, kids can't feed his children. With a broken heart, Nebuch, he converts to Catholicism. And now his business is booming because all the goyim stopped BDS. Abraham, no more BDS, no more boycott. So the priest wants to check up if he's a good Catholic. So the priest goes on Friday. Friday, they're not allowed to eat what? They're not allowed to eat meat. They're going fish, but they can't eat meat. So the Galach is looking, and he sees that Yankel, the good Catholic, is eating meat on Friday. He rushes in. He says, Yankel, what are you, crazy? You know you're not allowed to eat meat on Friday. You're a good Catholic. He says, priest, this is not meat. This is fish. He says, what are you, crazy? It's meat. What do you say? It's fish. He says, listen, when you converted me, you said, you spritzed some water on me. Now you're a yid. Now you're a yid. You're a yid. I spritzed a little water. A goy, slicha. You spritzed water on me, now you're a goy, now you're a goy. So I took some water and I spritzed it on the meat. They said, now you're fish, now you're fish, now you're fish. So if I'm a goy, this is now a fish. Right? Thank you very much.